Everyone in this little one-shot thing is physically going to be a 3-year-old child as his headspace. It was on after when Thang quiet nap was quite violently disturbed by the sound of a door slamming somewhere in the apartment. Poor little boy had been peacefully asleep up until the loud noise startled him awake, bringing tears to his eyes. Sitting himself up, nothing else came to his mind aside from one thing: he wanted his Dada. Dada. A few rooms over from the kitchen, Jungkook heard whining and causing him to wipe his hand and sigh, knowing he was awake. There was nothing bad about having to care of a little boy. Jungkook doesn't dislike taking care of the little baby, but Jungkook just hadn't been sleeping well, and a small nap unusually help Jungkook make up for it to some extent, save some time to sleep. So when this happens, all the members help Jungkook no more longer night awake and no flights or arguments. As Jungkook was halfway towards his room, Dada. However, Jungkook's face twisted and he sped up, hearing his baby start to sob. Jungkook walked in to see Tae sit up in his crib. Tae's eyes red and nose running slightly, one arm wiping the tears and the other hand clenching the blankie which Tae was using to rub his nose. "Oh, my baby Tae, don't cry, no more crying, Dada is here." Going at reaching over the crib, Jungkook said and tried to calm his Tae baby and took the smaller on to his arm and onto his lap, his hip bouncing Tae gently and hustling onto his ear, trying to calm Tae down. "Shh, hey baby boy, Tae, my love, why are you crying, huh?" The caregiver spoke softly and smoothed Tae as he sat down in the rocking chair, cuddling Tae and lying Tae's head on his shoulder. As Jungkook pushed Tae's bangs away from his eyes, the younger just brought his head onto Jungkook and whimpered quietly, wetting Jungkook's shirt when Tae nuzzled onto Jungkook's shoulder. Thinking back, Jungkook realized what must have happened. Remembering, Jungkook left a window open for Taeyong to sleep with air, as Tae loves natural air, and the wind probably caused one of the window doors, causing it to slam. "The door wake you up, sweetie?" Tae nodded slowly, more tears rolling down his cheeks, for which Jungkook used his thumb to gently wipe it away. "Oh, honey, my baby, no need to cry, Dada is here." Jungkook ran and calming hand through Tae's hair and sat whispering calming words onto his ear for a while before Jungkook heard a tummy rumble. Jungkook clenched as the tiny boy crawled up against his chest before get up from the chair and gently picking Tae up on his shoulder and taking Tae to the living room where Namjoon was sat reading. Though Namjoon was clearly unfocused from his book when he heard Tae was crying, seeing as he kept glancing away from his book and looking towards the hallway instead, but he didn't go in the little's room because no one can handle a crying little Tae rather than his Dada Jungkook. When Namjoon saw Jungkook holding Tae on his shoulder and tears on Taehyung's little Taehyung's eyes, Namjoon put down his book and walked over, looking gently at half-asleep boy and helped Jungkook to sit down with Tae in his lap, snuggling against the body and clutching onto Jungkook's shirt. Smiling at the two, Namjoon went into the kitchen and made up a bottle with what Jungkook was cooking before could wait, checking it on in his hand before bringing it to the pair cuddling on the couch. Namjoon passed the bottle to Jungkook. Make sure he doesn't drink it too quickly. He was sick last time and it scared me a little, Namjoon said as Jungkook nodded. It was when Jungkook was busy with his work and out of the house. Namjoon took care of the little Thethe, and while feeding Thethe milk, they gulped it too fast that he should have, and then he vomited everything. So Namjoon suggested Jungkook to make the drink slow. Jungkook nodded as he turned back to his baby. They looked so small, his hand scratching up to front of his Dada's shirt, running a thumb over his cheek. Jungkook made Thethe open his eyes softly to see Tae was snuggling with his Dada, but just making him move even more closer. When Tae went into the baby space, he was probably happiest but the most sensitive as well. So loud noises and small things could make Tae cry easily, leading Jungkook to believe that the door had woken him up. The loud sound of window door startled Jungkook too, if he was too honest. Morning, princess, Jungkook smiled. Dada, no? Tae just whined for a second before opening his mouth slightly. Jungkook smiled softly and placed the milk bottle to Taehyung's lip, where the little started drinking it quickly, one hand losing around the bottle while the other still gripped onto his Dada's shirt for comfort. Hey, slow down, Thethe. It's okay, no need to hurry, princess. The caregiver pulled the milk away slightly, which just made the little scream and whinny quietly until his appa gave it back, but kept a good hold on the bottle so that his baby wouldn't drink too fast. Namjoon was sitting beside them. Thethe again closed his eyes and his hold on Jungkook's shirt loosened, so Jungkook hand over little Thethe to Namjoon Hyung, and Jungkook himself had walked back to the kitchen, where he suddenly collapsed against the counter, his head in his hands as he rubbed at his temple. They had been in baby space for 4 days now. There was nothing wrong with this, but they wake up in midnight because of some nightmares, so Jungkook had to wake up in night. Also, Jungkook had some extra work, so he couldn't take sleep in daytime too. It was also affecting Namjoon's sleep, but especially Jungkook was exhausted. This was genuinely from the broken sleep pattern caused by Taehyung's nightmare, meaning Jungkook was there to rock his baby boy back to sleep every time Thethe woke up, cold sweats and tears, and there was nothing Jungkook could do before he could mentally drag himself any further. Jungkook felt a comfortable hand on his back, making him look up, the box under his eyes heavy. Taehyung was staring with bluntly concerned. Jungkook forced a smile before Taehyung shook his head, and then Jungkook sighed, standing up and pressing himself onto Taehyung's chest. "I'm sorry, I was just..." Jungkook was shocked as two arms wrapped around him, dragging him closer. "If little Tete can't think what is bad things and good about himself, that doesn't mean you also can't. Cookie, you should take care of yourself too." He was out of his headspace now and being worried for Jungkook. Jungkook's mouth twitched as Jungkook slowly placed his hand behind Taehyung's neck and bent down a bit to press a kiss to Taehyung's lips. "I love you so much, Taehyungi." With their foreheads pressed together, Taehyung smiled as well. "I know, I love you too, Cookie." Time escapes 7 p.m. Dada soft whinnies were heard from the bedroom again as they realized he was done. He was alone. His Dada was nowhere to be seen. When his eyes had fallen shut for a moment, Taehyung saw a nightmare again, and Jungkook was out of the room to take a call. "Yeah, I have gotten it. You go get ready, okay? We will be meeting in 10 minutes." With the final words to set in all, Jungkook came back and the winning stopped as Jungkook walked past onto Taehyung's bedroom. "Dada is sorry, Bob. We are going out." So Dada was on call with Chim Chim, Jungkook said, and realized this was the only moment of quiet as Taehyung stopped crying. They were going to a playdate today. Not only Tete will be one little there, but also two other little will be there too. Thank God Jimin offered to hold the playdate on today, because could have been so much more stressful. "Cook, go get dressed, then we will be leaving," Namjoon said, and Jungkook went to his room to get dressed. Jungkook smirked to himself when he heard Tae giggling from his room, and Namjoon let out a small sigh of frustration. About 3 minutes later, Namjoon and Jungkook all sat at the door. They dressed in an oversized hoodie which covered up in dinosaurs snapcrosses onesie until they were at Jimin's house. Taehyung's flower crown, which he insisted upon wearing on his head, after a small tantrum from the little Tete about wanting to sit alone in the back so that he can play with his Tata and other toys. They were all in the car. Tete, Tata, Palsi and key in his hand. He looked around and whinnied, causing something to click in Jungkook's head as he quickly jumped out of the car in a slight hurry to grab his passy and a clip, as Jungkook forgot to put Taehyung's passy and in his baby bag. Throwing the stuff into Tete's baby bag and pressing the passy into Tete's lips, Jungkook took a sigh of relief. Clearly amused by Jungkook's act, Namjoon tried to hide his smile. Namjoon was also smiling at how the wind had blown up Tete's hair, thinking it's better to leave it untouched for now. Namjoon and Jungkook didn't touch it. They were just smiling at Tete. "What are you smiling at, Dada?" Tete asked in his baby voice. "Nothing, baby bear. Can we go now?" Jungkook said, and Tete nodded. Namjoon was happy for Jungkook today. At Jimin's play party, Jungkook can sleep in Jimin's room and he will be busy with his little friends. The end. everyone, as you all liked a lot Little Space, Thethe and Jungkook's FF and one shot, so I thought to write more of Little Space Taekook one shots. Whatever you feel about the story, you can tell me in the comment section, and if you have any suggestion, you can also comment it down. I'll see you tomorrow with another Taekook one shot. Till then, take care, safe, bye bye.